Hello, legends! Back again with your daily book fix on your YouTube channel. We crack open one amazing book every single day so you can steal the best ideas, skip the 300 boring pages, and actually become more and more successful. Grab your coffee. Today's book is about to blow your mind.
It really is. And, blow your mind might not even be strong enough. We're talking about the absolute grandfather of all personal finance books, The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason.
And I know what people are thinking, a history lesson.
Uh,
The book was published in the 1920s, and it's set, 4,000 years ago in ancient Babylon?
yeah, chariots, clay tablets, the whole deal.
But our mission today is to show that the money in your wallet right now, it follows the exact same rules as it did back then.
That's the whole premise, and it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Babylon wasn't rich because of, gold mines or oil. It was in this dry, arid valley.
Right.
It was rich because its people understood money. They saw wealth building as a science, as something as real as gravity.
So these laws, as he calls them, they don't change just because we have Venmo now.
Exactly. I mean, you step off a cliff in 2000 BC, you fall. You step off one in 2024, you still fall. Clason's saying if you ignore these money laws, you're going to crash just as hard.
Okay, so let's get to the man himself. Arkad, the richest man in Babylon.
Right. And the first thing to know about Arkad, the most important thing, is that he wasn't born rich. He wasn't some prince.
He was a scribe, so basically a gig worker.
Pretty much, yeah. Carving records onto clay tablets all day long, working so hard, but just barely getting by. And he has this moment that I think everyone has. He's looking at all the wealth around him and just feeling like a bystander.
On the outside looking in, we've all been there. So he does something pretty bold. He finds this guy, Algamish.
Algamish, the moneylender. Super rich, super intimidating. He gives Arkad this rush job, a huge carving he needs done in 2 days. Arkad works like crazy, but he can't finish it.
And Algamish comes back, and he is not happy.
Furious. But this is where Arkad gets gutsy. Instead of just apologizing, he makes a deal. He says, "Tell me the secret to becoming rich, and I will carve all night long until this job is done."
He trades his labor for knowledge.
Exactly. Algamish respects the hustle. So the next morning, Arkad's exhausted. He's finished the tablet, and the old man drops the secret.
And you're expecting some, super complex formula.
Right, some ancient stock tip. But it's just one sentence.
A part of all you earn is yours to keep.
And I can just hear people thinking, that's it, save money, come on.
It sounds like something from a fortune cookie.
It does, but then you break it down. Algamish asks him, don't you pay the shoemaker? Don't you pay the landlord?
You pay everyone, the grocer, your phone bill, everything.
Algamish basically calls him a slave. He says you work for everyone else. You pay everyone but yourself, and that part you keep. It isn't savings for a rainy day. It's paying yourself a salary that you never, ever give away.
That's the mindset shift. It's not a fund you dip into. It's a tax you pay to your own future.
Precisely. The 110th rule. No matter what you make, a tenth of it is yours. He uses this great little analogy about an egg merchant.
Oh, yeah.
If you put 10 eggs in your basket every morning, but you only take 9 out to sell, what happens?
Eventually, the basket overflows. It's just math.
It's inevitable. But Arkad pushes back. He says, look, I can barely live on 100% of my income. How am I supposed to live on 90?
Which is what everyone says.
Of course. But he tries it for a year. And the weird thing is, he barely noticed it was gone. He just adjusted. He didn't buy that extra tunic. He just made it work.
It's like expenses just expand to fill whatever income you have.
That's it, exactly. So a year goes by. Arkad has a nice little stash of copper coins. He's feeling pretty good. And then he makes the classic all-time rookie mistake.
I love this part. It's so painfully real. Algamish comes back to check on him, asks what he did with the savings, and Arkad, puffs out his chest and says, I gave it to Asmir.
The brickmaker.
The brickmaker. Because who else would you trust with your life savings?
Laughs. Right. So Asmir the brickmaker is traveling to Phoenicia to buy rare jewels. That was the plan. Split the profits.
And let me guess. A brickmaker doesn't know much about jewels.
He knew nothing. The Phoenicians sold him a bag of pretty worthless glass. Arkad lost everything.
Yeah.
A whole year of discipline just gone.
Ouch. But Algamish's reaction is perfect. He doesn't say, I told you so. He just asks him this killer question.
Would you go to the bread maker to inquire about the stars?
So simple, but it cuts so deep. Don't ask a brickmaker about gems. Don't ask your dentist about crypto.
Yes. Only take financial advice from people who are experts in that specific thing. Bad advice will cost you everything.
So Arkad has to start over, but this time he gets it right. He saves up again. but he invests with agar, a shield maker, to buy bronze.
A safe, boring investment. He gets a steady return. He's learned his lesson.
Okay, so let's fast forward. Arkad is now the richest man in Babylon. But the king, Sargon, has a problem.
Yeah, the city's basically in a recession. All the gold has ended up with, a few guys like Arkad. Everyone else is broke.
Which sounds a little familiar.
Startlingly familiar.
So the king asks Arkad to teach class, to share the secrets. And this is where we get the 7 cures for a lean purse. We've covered the first one, pay yourself that 10%. But the second one, control thy expenditures, is huge.
It is, because this is where he tackles the difference between your necessary expenses and your desires. He says our necessary expenses will always grow to equal our income unless we fight back.
That's lifestyle creep in a nutshell.
Exactly. Your desires are like weeds in a garden. The budget isn't there to punish you. It's there to protect the things you really want from all the little things you kind of want.
To defend your future from your present impulses. Okay, what about cure 3? This is where it gets exciting. Make thy gold multiply.
There's compound interest, but the metaphor he uses is incredible. He says, every piece of gold you save is a slave that works for you.
A golden slave.
A golden slave. And every little bit of copper that slave earns is its child. And that child also earns for you. So if you spend your profits, you are literally eating the children of your slaves. You're destroying your workforce.
That's a little dark, but man, does it get the point across. You want an army of money working for you.
You do. Then he recaps the brickmaker lesson with, guard thy treasures from loss. Then there's, make of thy dwelling a profitable investment.
Basically, own your own home.
Yeah, in Babylon, made sense. Lowered your cost of living, gave you a real stake in the city.
And number 6 is weirdly modern. Ensure a future income.
Isn't it? He's describing pensions and life insurance. Plan for your old age, provide for your family if you're gone. It's about responsibility.
And the last one, increase thy ability to earn.
Self-improvement. You are your #1 asset. The better you get at your craft, the more you can earn. It all feeds back into the system.
Okay, so that's the roadmap. But the book introduces another character who I think is maybe even more compelling than Arkad, Dabasir, the camel trader.
Oh, Dabasir's story is incredible. He's the guy who already screwed up. He didn't start from zero. He started from way, way in the negative, drowning in debt.
Yeah, he ran away from Babylon to escape his creditors, a total coward's move.
And it just got worse.
Yeah.
He fell in with robbers, got captured, sold as a slave in Syria. I mean, absolute rock bottom.
Until this one moment, he's serving his master's wife, a woman named Sira, and she asks him this question that just cuts him to the bone.
She looks him in the eye and asks, hast thou the soul of a slave or the soul of a free man?
That is a heavy question.
It's the whole point of the book, really. She says, the slave whines and blames everyone. The free man sees a problem and solves it. He faces what he owes.
And what Dabasir owed was his debt back in Babylon?
Exactly. So that question just lights a fire under him. He escapes, makes this insane journey through the desert, and goes straight back to the place he ran from.
Back to face the music. And this is where we get the actual math for getting out of debt. He had this plan on a clay tablet. What was it?
It's the 70-20-10 rule. The 10, we know. That's yours to keep. Pay yourself first.
Wait, even when you're in debt, most people would say throw every last penny at the debt.
And then that's the psychological track. If you do that, you're still a slave to your past. You have no hope, no future fund. Dabasir says you have to keep that 10% for your own self-respect.
Okay, so what's the 70 and the 20?
You live on 70%. Food, family, all that. The remaining 20%. That gets divided up proportionally among everyone you owe money to.
I bet they weren't too happy getting just a fraction of what they were owed each month.
Oh, they weren't. One guy was really nasty about it. But Dabasir stood his ground. He said, look, this is the plan. If you let me work, I will pay you every single month until it's gone. If you throw me in jail, you get nothing.
He gave them a choice between a steady stream of payments or nothing at all.
And it worked. The debts went down, his savings went up, and he gained his self-respect back. He had the soul of a free man because he had a plan and he was working it.
Where the determination is, the way can be found. That's the line. Okay, one last thing before we wrap. The big one. Luck. Is this all just luck?
Arkad tackles this. He says luck is almost never just chance. He says luck is really just opportunity meeting action.
You make your own luck.
Pretty much. Procrastination is the enemy of luck. He tells a story about a guy who could have bought some land cheap, but he wanted to think about it, and he missed out. The men of action, they get lucky.
That's analysis paralysis. You see the chance, but you hesitate, and then it's gone.
Gone. And speaking of hesitation, there's a great little fable from Methon, the gold lender, about the ox and the ass.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. The ox is complaining about having to pull the plow all day.
Yep. And the ass, his friend, says, hey, just pretend you're sick tomorrow. So the ox does.
But someone still has to pull the plow.
Exactly. So the farmer makes the ass do it. And the ass ends the day with a sore neck, realizing he just burdened himself to help his friend.
What's the money lesson there?
If you desire to help thy friend, do so in a way that will not bring thy friend's burdens upon thyself.
Don't co-sign a loan. Don't lend money you can't afford to lose.
That's it. It sounds harsh, but it's about boundaries. Don't be the ass.
Wow. So we've got the 10% rule, the brickmaker risk, the 70-20-10 debt plan, the nature of luck. It's amazing that all this wisdom is timeless.
It's because it's about human nature, not about spreadsheets or apps. The temptation for get-rich-quick schemes, the shame of debt. That's been the same for 5,000 years.
The principles are simple, just not easy to do.
Simple, not easy. That's the perfect way to put it.
So that brings us to the final thought we want to leave everyone with.
Yeah. Let's go back to Debussy in that moment with Syrah. If everything you have now was stripped away, your job, your money, and you were dropped in a financial desert, what would you do?
Would you sit there and complain about how unfair it all is?
Would you have the soul of a slave who just accepts it? Or would you have the soul of a free man who stands up, makes a plan, and starts fighting their way back?
The real question is, are you fighting for your financial freedom right now, or are you just accepting your limits?
That's the question to sit with.
Start fattening that purse, legends. We'll see you in the next deep dive.